Today on Fresh Vintage Garage, we got a QuickJack. Huge shout out to them for sending this over, sponsoring the video. I'm amazed they sent this to us, but we did talk to the team, QuickJack at SEMA Show, and they sent this over. This is the 7000 TL. Just quick note, there is a 3000, 5000, and 7000 series, and these are the big guys. They do weigh about 115 pounds each, and they ship FedEx, so be prepared for that if you buy one. But what comes with one, we're most of the way through assembling it here. If you want to see the assembly and the actual unboxing and piece by piece assembly, check out the second half of the video. But what comes in the box is the actual lift blocks here. The truck adapters, they were nice enough to send these over, and they actually sent us a whole box of them, so we have those in a box here. And then right behind that, we actually have some QuickJack hangers. You can actually mount these in your garage or shop or something and hang them up, knowing that they're 115 pounds each, so keep that in mind. But we're most of the way through the assembly here. Like I said, check out the second half of the video. We're not going to show you all that now. We want to get the Forester in here, get everything set up, and then show it in action. One of the things we have to do before we actually hook all this up is get the actual pump primed. And we have ATF fluid here. We'll make a note that you can use, I believe it's ISO 32, 46, and 68 hydraulic fluid. Or you can use Dexcon 3, Mercon 5, I think Mercon 6 even. But we just went and got some multi-vehicle. Got this from Advanced Auto Parts. And it calls for 2.1 quarts. So I'm going to do my best to not make a huge mess here. We're going to give this about half a quart and then see if it's, near the top. We'll just add a little bit more here. It says 2.1 quarts, and for anyone who's looking to buy one of these, I was curious if we'd be able to fit all 2 quarts in here, or if we'd fit like a quart and a half, and then we'd have to prime and bleed and stuff. So I just put the second quart in there. So we're going to actually hook the lines up and then start actually bleeding the system right now. So we're hooking up the quick connects here, and the book specifically calls out for, before you actually hook these up for the very first time, make sure you clean them. And then in this case, we just got some transmission fluid, but you can use the hydraulic fluid that you bought for this. And they just basically say put a little bit of, we're not going to go crazy like dripping wet with fluid or anything, but we just give it a little bit of oil on there. Just wanted to shout out, these do have a lock on them, and you'll see that lock in action when I actually go to push this together right now. So you just want to push this, and then that, and then this will actually turn, and you can see where that ball is further down here, and then it's actually locked. So this one is locked, and we have the one right there locked as well. So we're going to do the 2 next on the pump. So one final step before we actually bleed the system is we have little bleeder screws on both of the bottom of the actual hydraulics. This is a 3/16 Allen, and forgive me, 3/16 hex, I'm sorry. So we're going to loosen, not remove. Don't remove those, but you can see we have the paper towels here, and we have paper towel here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the up button, and we're actually going to work on getting all the air out. And once we see just straight transmission fluid coming out of these, then we know we can tighten them down. So quick recap, we have everything bled here. We have the bleeder screws all cranked down and tight. We got all the air out of the system, and we just wanted to make note that the book calls for 2.1 quarts of the actual transmission fluid or hydraulic fluid. Our personal experience here right now was about 2.8 quarts. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. 2.1 will probably get the job done, but we actually put almost, you can see how much is left in here. But that being said, Jay is going to hop in the Forester and drive over the QuickJack right now. All right, the moment you've all waited for. I know you're on the edge of your seat waiting for this, but the actual lift blocks that we used, you saw the second set earlier in the video. They're a little bit taller, so we used those, and we just put them here, in the usual spots on the pinch welds. But we have them mocked up. They're actually touching the car. You can see it's partially up off the ground a little tiny bit, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the up button, and then you're going to watch the magic happen, and this thing's going to come up off the ground right now. So now that we have this fully lifted up and it's sitting on the safety latches, you can see we didn't think it would be that close, but it definitely shows you how high you can actually get your QuickJack, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, if I sat here and did this all day, yeah, sure, we could probably knock it over, but for your everyday use, it's going to be perfectly fine. Really solid, and you have room. When I say you have room, like you got all this going on just to do your suspension work, your brake work, your tire work. Let me show you one other room thing that we have here. When I say you have room, you got all this going on down here, folks. And you can do driveline work, transmission work. Maybe you can squeeze a transmission in and out depending on what you're actually working on and lifting up. Really, really awesome product that QuickJack has here. So we're going to go ahead and get this down off the lift right now. If you actually want to see the unboxing, the actual step-by-step unbox, these things weigh 115 pounds each, so they're definitely a little weighty, but they're really, really awesome. Definitely check out the second half of the video. It's coming at you right now. Before we actually get there, though, just want to do a huge shout out. Thank you to QuickJack.com. Make sure you check out QuickJack.com for a 3, 5, or 7,000 series, and BenPack.com. They actually own the QuickJack brand. If you need a 2-post lift, 4-post lift, if you need Ranger, tire changer, or wheel balancer service, definitely check out BenPack.com. They have everything you need to get your shop up and running right now. With that, we're going to get this off the lift, and let's jump right into the unboxing. Coming at you right now. Now that you've seen the QuickJack 7000 TL in action, we're going to go ahead and take step by step and show you what's in each box and actually unbox these real time so you can see what to expect to show up at your house. We wanted to do this because these boxes here, you have box 1 of 3, box 2 of 3, then over here we have box 3 of 3. These are all going to show up at your house via UPS, and the 2 big boxes on the ground are 115 pounds each. These are not light. So we wanted to show you what's going to show up, and you're going to have to manhandle, for lack of a better word. We actually had to drag these up Jay's Hill, so we had a little bit of an exercise event there. But this guy weighs 32 pounds. These are the truck adapters. This box weighs 48 pounds. There's some hooks to actually like mount these on the wall. But each one of these boxes here, I'm going to open this as we go. Each one of these is 115 pounds, so definitely be prepared for that should you buy the 7,000. I'm assuming the 5 and 3,500, you know, those are probably going to weigh less, but just be prepared because these are definitely not going to ship via an actual truck or some kind of truck freight situation. I have no idea what's in here. Let's see what this is actually packaged like. There we go. Actually, it looks like plywood. And so we have more bands. So okay, it's more like a veneer. There we go. Set this to the side. Let's see what's in here. Okay, these are mostly assembled. And I think the big thing Jay and I were talking about is the actual hydraulic hoses are in that other box over there. So we have this piece here. And I want to try and get this out of the box because one of these ends actually has wheels on it, or so I thought. I'm just going to pick this end up. Remember, these are 115 pounds, so just be prepared. Be prepared for that so you don't crack your leg. Maybe have a friend or 2 or 3 friends come over. I may regret trying to He-Man this, but I'm going to He-Man this out of the box. There we go. 100% do not do that because you know it's going to fall over. So I'm going to carefully set it down on the foam here just to get this box out of the way. Yep. And there's box 1. Let's see what's behind box number 2. Technically, this is box number 1, and that was box number 2. Yeah, no surprise to hear the pack the exact same way. QuickJack number 2. All things being equal, I could probably just get this out of the box the exact same way. Just going to set this over here. Make sure you take this out so it doesn't fall and crack you in the leg or land on your foot. Please, for the love of Pete, do not do this in Crocs or flip-flops. Again, be prepared for that. Just going to set that over there. So as you can see, we've managed to pull both of these out of the box the same direction. And be careful because that will move on you. Possibly slip right out of your hands if you're not careful. All right, let me clean this up and then we'll get these unpacked next. You can see the wheels on the other end of the QuickJack, and that foam is convenient because I can just use it like a fulcrum. Now, I will make no bones about it, these things are not light, but with those wheels on the end, it's actually not that hard to do this. And just watch your fingers because you will smash them if you're not careful. Definitely recommend gloves of some kind, even if it's not cold out. But we're gonna actually get the box 3 of 3 unpacked right now. So we kind of went out of order with unboxing these. I wanted to get these out of the package so that you could see what they look like. This box here, actually box 3 of 3, does call out, stop, please open me first. So make sure you keep that in mind if you're actually unboxing your own QuickJack. But let's go ahead and cut this open and see what's inside. My expectation is the motor and the hydraulic lines are in here. And we have some paperwork. It's one of the few times where you definitely want to read all of this paperwork very carefully before you actually do anything with the QuickJack. Let's see what is in here. This has some kind of official seal on it, which I immediately cut. There we go. Well, I did not cut the rubber band though. Okay, so in here, there's quite a few quick connectors, so we'll definitely have to make sure we get those down tight enough to where we're not leaking. Let's see what else is in the box here. So we have a QuickJack box 3 of 3, so kind of a checklist. You might want to just run through and make sure everything's here. Now these, you might be asking what these are for, but these are for, you bring the car in, you sit the car down, and then you actually lift the car up. You can see they have little dimples in them, but it's meant to pick the car up and actually provide like a stable rubberized support for picking the car up. All right, so just like we thought, here's our hoses. I'm seeing 3 hoses, so my guess is 1, 2, the actual motor, and then from the motor to each one of these. But that's just my guess. We'll read the manual to be 100% certain. There's 2 more blocks in here. There's that. So we'll just set those here. And I think I see 2 more blocks down here. Yeah, there's 2 more blocks in here. And I think I'm feeling there might be 2 more in there, which would make sense because that would give us 8. So there's that. Now this, I'm probably just going to have to try and pick the motor up and then drop the box. There we go. And there's those 2 other, oops, they're not rubber, they're like polyurethane, almost like a suspension part. So they'll definitely last you and withstand a lot of wear and tear before you need to replace them. There is this is in here. You're gonna have to read the manual to fully understand what this is for. And then that's it in the box here. Let's take a look at this motor. I believe this is a 110 volt unit, although they do make, I think they make DC ones, like battery powered ones. Be a little bit more careful with this. There we go. Yeah, don't drop this. go. And let's take a look at this here. So it is 110. And let me just stand on that. There we go. Your control is right here. So it literally is just up and down. And then there's our 110 plug. We're going to have to read the manual to make sure we properly prime this and then properly prime the lines, getting them out to the actual piston. So not seeing any hydraulic fluid like we assumed. We're going to open this box next just to be safe. But I'm pretty sure this is just truck adapters. Hit that one more time. There we go. Yeah, these are just truck adapters. Almost got poked in the eyeball. That would have been very bad. And as you can see, they're coming out in pieces. Forgive the silica there, but you want to be able to take these and set them down in here. So something like this. And then if you don't need that much height, boom. Or if you need more height, there you go. Almost poked myself in the eye again. So maybe do this in an area where there's not vegetation. Let's open this last one because this is hooks, I believe, to hang these on a wall. And you said these were optional, right? These are. We got QuickJack. Look at that. Very nice. Everything that QuickJack and BenPack does is very, very well done. You can trust these guys to get you quality stuff. Look at that. Very nice. So from here, we're going to read the manual. You've already seen the video, already set up and everything, but we're going to read the manual, get some fluid, start bleeding everything, get it together. So the thing that I was wondering what this was, it's actually a handle so that you can actually pick this entire unit up and move it. On the bottom here, there's what I found to be 5mm. I went and got a 5mm hex. So I'm just going to unscrew this. And I have this turned on its side so that I can actually get these threaded up in here. And I'm just going to do this and start this into the handle. We will make note, we just read in the owner's manual that the thread lock that comes with this needs 24 hours to cure in temperatures, what was it, at least 44 degrees if memory serves correct. So when you're doing this, make sure your temperatures are going to be pretty stable. It's just having to be a cold snap when we're doing this. So we're going to have to actually put these fittings on. We'll show you the actual process of doing that. But from there, we're probably going to have to let them sit for a literal day while we let the actual thread locker seal 100%. So this second one going in took a little bit of work, but I just had to wiggle it and line it up a little bit. So I'm just going to give it one more quick crank down here. Yeah, that should be plenty. There we go. All right, well, welcome to downstairs here. We are in the basement where we normally shoot our scan tool videos and other product videos. We came down here because if you look at the book here, this actually says these need to be 46 to 83 degrees for at least 24 hours. So we came downstairs, we're going to assemble these. We're not going to show you every single step, but we just wanted to mention that because these definitely cannot be too hot or too cold. The thread locker needs 24 hours to cure before you start using this thing. Also wanted to point out, it does show tape in here, like actual pipe tape, but it also says we have found that you get warranty claims because this tape actually can get in a power unit or the reservoir, the actual hydraulic fluid itself. So we're not going to mess with any of that. We got ourselves our actual, in this case, 22mm, 17mm, oddly enough, an 11/16 for the short hoses, and then we have to work on getting the longer hoses together. We won't show you all that. We're going to put them all together, and then we're going to jump back outside after these have all cured. So real quick, we just wanted to mention we do have the ends on the actual hoses. The manual does state you should make 2 to 3 complete turns on these to actually get these tight enough. So just keep that in mind. You might need a vise or something, but we just wanted to show you there's 2 more fittings here. We're putting the last one in. There's little red caps in here, but these have O-rings on them. So you just want to not cross thread that. Get it in there, and then I'm going to put this on the floor so I'm not cranking down on us and breaking the toolbox. But Just want to crank both of these down. Make sure they are good and tight. And then we'll let them cure for the next 24 hours. Now, this is not a head bolt, but I am going to give it a little bit of torque. I think this is aluminum, so I'm going to be a little careful with this, but we're going to call that good. So we're going to let all this cure for the next 24 hours. So it's been 24 hours. Technically, it's been a week. It's the next week here, and it's even colder this week than it was last week. But we have the actual thread lock on these. These are all installed on both the long ones. You saw me at the end of the last clip putting these in. Those are all sealed up. Then we have the short guys on the actual QuickJacks here, and you can see there's a 90-degree. So what you need to do is actually we have an 11/16 and a 9/16, and that let us hold the 90-degree and point it that direction, and then just crank these guys down. So we did that for both of these. And then the one thing you definitely want to pay attention to is the auxiliary air spring here, the auxiliary pneumatic spring, forgive me. These need to be at 40 to 50 psi each, and they mention right in the instruction book, use your jack pack if you have one. We just happen to have a jack pack, so if you've never seen a combo air compressor slash jump starter, really cool unit that Benpack sells there, but these need to be 40 to 50 psi, so we just actually threaded this on. It is just like an actual valve on a tire. So these are at 50 psi, and then it even has a valve stem cap, just like a tire. So we'll just thread this on here. The other one already is threaded on there. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video. We appreciate you watching. A huge shout out to Benpack, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video. Huge shout out to them for sending these over and sponsoring the video. Big shout out to QuickJack. QuickJack's owned by Benpack, but if you need shop equipment, 2-post, 4-post lifts, tire changers and wheel balancers, they have their Ranger series as well. Anything for your shop you might need, they can hook you up with it. But with that, we appreciate you watching. If you like shop equipment, if you like scan tools, if you like keeping your car certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Finish Garage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, wanted to mention our website, scantooldepot.com. Whether you need a scan tool, TPMS equipment, ADAS equipment, battery chargers and testers, smoke machines, and a whole bunch more, definitely check out scantooldepot.com.